get down, get down, get up.
All right, so in case you're wondering, this is not AMSR. Guess you guys want to know. All right, as soon as we get some people in here, we'll get started. This is going to be a good topic today. A good one. Should be a hot topic for you guys. Now, I'm live streaming it on TikTok. If you guys know a way to make this where I can stream on there and record it and post it without doing this rigmarole that I'm doing, let me know, because I don't know any other way. I am not up on all the new things. But speaking of ASMR, when I was trying to log into my TikTok, I just had it running while I was waiting to log in, and there was a video that popped up on suggested, and it was a girl doing ASMR, and she was like shaking her tea around and all this stuff and whispering into the microphone, saying things awkwardly. And I was like, I don't want any part of this. This is making me sick to my stomach. I can't hear all these noises. You know what I mean? Like, ASMR might be cool for some people, but for me, it just makes me upset. Like, I don't like all those sounds. It bothers me. Some people like that stuff. Not me. I do not like ASMR at all. So if you like that, more power to you, not me. And Denise feels the same way. I had other things planned to do. I wasn't going to do the live stream right now, but I moved my schedule around because life. So here we are. But I got a few tips for you guys. I'm going to explain why. And if you get it, you get it. If you don't, you don't. But I feel like these things will help you with understanding why you shouldn't do this, and then what you can do instead of it. And there's a few basic reasons why you mess up when you do these things, and there's a few reasons about how you can change that, how you can change the place and time to make it better suitable for both of you. And so if you understand that, it should make a lot more sense for you. This is like my, right now, this is like my temporary office until I get everything moved around. We got a boy on the way, so we had to make some room for him. Now, one thing about that is, when I was growing up, I didn't grow up with a lot of money, so I appreciated what I had to a certain extent. Like, for example, I was a full-grown man, and my mother still had all of my toys from when I was a kid. Like, she just kept them for whatever reason. She's pack rat. But she had kept all my toys from when I was a kid. They were still all in working condition from when I was a child. That's how much I took care of my stuff. I was like 20 years old and the toys were still there. Now, my brother is 10 years younger than me. So when I was 20, he was 10. And when he got to a certain age, he blew through every one of those toys. Like, just blew through them, broke every one of them. And that's a prime example of why parents should not try to give their kids what they never had. You know what I mean? Like, don't be giving your kids what you never had. I just want them to have the things I never got. Yeah, but are you a piece of crap? Did you grow up a piece of crap? Okay. Well, maybe there was some validity to that. I mean, think about it. Was there some validity to that? Maybe because you appreciate the things that you have when it takes a lot to get them. Okay. But if you get a new thing every time you go to the store, you don't appreciate it. All right. If you get something every time you ask for it, you don't appreciate it because you're a kid. You don't know where these things come from. You think mom and dad just goes and gets it. Why not? You don't know. It's the parents' job to teach them what is worth something to them. Because if they get a new toy and they break it, they don't get another toy. They don't get another exact same one. They don't get another better one. They just don't have it. And that kind of helps things. Like we've set up a new thing at the house. The kids were getting kind of rambunctious. They were tearing things up. They were tearing my things up. And I don't know about you, but when we were kids, if I ever went into my dad's garage and took a tool out of the garage and broke it or left it sitting outside with junk all over it, what did your dad do? What did your dad do in that situation? Did he say, "Oh, no big deal, son. No big deal, daughter. You know, nothing lost. I'll just get another one." Or did he lose his absolute mind over it? And so I'm having to teach him a few things because they took a few of my tools. This is an ongoing thing. Took a few of my tools out, messed them up, So we've got a system set up now to where I have a weekly chart on the fridge. And this is a lot like a rental system. Okay, I'm trying to teach them the way economics work and the way real life works. So we have a rental system on the refrigerator of days of the week. Okay, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all the way down the line. They have to do some kind of chore on that list that I have down below. They have to do some kind of chore on that list every day. Okay, and they have to tell us that they did that. And then we write it on there. If by end of business day, if there is nothing on that list and we go to ask them and they haven't done anything, they don't use any of their electronics the next day. Okay? They don't get any PlayStation 5. They don't get any Oculus. They don't get any phone time. They don't get any of that the next day. They still have their toys and stuff, but it's like basic toys. But that is the system that we had to do for them to understand that everything they have is a privilege. Okay? It's not automatic. And so they're going to figure that one out pretty quick. But that's what I'm doing now. Figuring that one out as we go. Because they have to learn. If they don't learn, they get to be 18 years old, they go to school wherever they're going, and they don't know anything. They don't know anything about anything. They don't appreciate anything. They don't understand anything. Everything's supposed to be given to them. So that's one way that we kind of came up with, or I came up with, to try to fix that. Now that we got that out of the way, if I could get one thing across to you men, this is for you men, because everybody says I like to talk about women, I don't ever talk about men. If I can get anything across to you men, It's to stop arguing over text message. Okay? Stop it. Stop arguing over text message. And this is why. When a man is talking to a woman, ever since the dawn of time, when a man's talking to a woman, we are communicating with our bodies as well as our voice. Okay? Just like I'm moving my hands right now, just like my face is moving, okay? Just like my body is moving. She's picking up on all of my cues that I'm giving off when I'm talking. Every one of them. She's picking up on it. Women are a lot better communicators by covert communication, body language, than we are. Okay? We ask a question to get an answer about something with content. They ask a question sometimes for context. They just want to communicate. Women like to communicate, even if it has nothing to do with anything. That's why they like to go to lunch together and blah, blah, blah. Nothing against it. That's how they do it. We are content communicators. They are context. We're talking about something we need to get done, information we need to know. Why did you do that? Huh, okay. And so we're communicating with our bodies as we're doing that. They're picking up on it all. You have no presence over text message. None. You are same level as her over text message. So if she's texting you about something that she's just wanting to argue with you about, maybe it's something valid, maybe it's not. But if she's picking a time like you're at work, or she's picking a time like you're out with your friends, or if she's picking a time like you're going to visit your mom, and that's when she wants to argue with you about something, whether it be petty or it be something valid, you are in control if you communicate back or not. So if you choose to get into that argument with her, she automatically sees you as less because you gave in to that. And she's seeing you as having a position of scarcity in that communication because you're seeking out to try to fix this when she knows you're busy. She knows. She's not dumb. She knows. And the only way that you're going to get across to her the points that you want to make about that is in person. So if she chooses to do that and you are legitimately busy, you need to say, hey, I'll have to talk to you about this later. Or, all right, we'll talk about it later. And then you stop. You stop. Or, I could see how you feel that way. We'll talk about it later. You don't even have to be like mean or vindictive about it or try to be stoic. You know, all these guys tell you to be stoic, show no emotion. Just say, hey, I understand. We'll talk about it later. What's the problem with that? And then you can concentrate on what you're needing to do. Whether it be you're working on something with your friends, or you're out with your buddies, or you're over at your mom's house, or you're at work working a 15-hour shift where people's lives are on the line. You know, when I'm operating a 15-ton crane, overhead crane, with a 10,000-pound piece of concrete in the air, I don't need to worry about, well, Susie at work did this, or why did you leave your clothes on the floor? You know, I'm not worried about that at all. So I'm going to choose to talk about that later. And 9 times out of 10, she doesn't even care about that thing. She's talking to you covertly because she's upset about something else, and she chose that to go after you about. It might have been 15 other things. She chose that. So by the time you get home and talk to her, she might not even care about it anymore. But if she does, then you talk to her about it then. Because you can show her presence in the communication. You have no frame over text message. None. Matter of fact, you are in a lower position because you chose to do it. And if there's anything a woman does not like, is a guy in a scarcity mentality that is afraid to rock any kind of boat and has to immediately fix anything with her. They hate that. It's not about the nail. Okay, that's an even deeper conversation. It's not about the nail. There's a story about a girl with a nail in her head. Okay, she's got a nail in her head. She goes and talks to her boyfriend. Ow, my head's really hurting. Like, it's been bothering me all day, and oh gosh. And he's like, there's a nail in your head. You want me to pull that out? No, it's just hurting real bad, and it's been hurting me all day, and then Susie at work's giving me attitude, and my clothes just don't fit right today, and I feel like I'm getting fat, and this person pulled out in front of me today, and the coffee shop didn't have my coffee, and my head's just hurting. Okay, well, it's probably because you got a nail in your head. If you just say, no, it's not about the nail. You see that? You see that way that goes? She didn't want you to fix it right then. She wanted you to hear her complain about it. She wanted to vent about it. Hey, Kaylin, how's it going? Hey, everybody that's just joining us. So, if you sit there and try to fix and spend all day long fixing, all you're going to do is waste your time and get yourself out of frame in a relationship. Now, anybody doesn't know what frame is, pull this up for you. It's too slow, takes up too much space, but I think it's like the only thing that this likes to work with. Here we go. All right. Frame. Like I said, you'll be able to see this on my YouTube video. So I'll just basically read this off to you. You right about here. Okay, so if you don't know who Rollo Tomassi is, he's a very well-known guy in the red pill manosphere. We don't really like to call it manosphere anymore because they kind of ruined it. But the red pill kind of praxeology, he's the one that put all the information together from other guys. So he wasn't the guy that started it. He was just the guy that put it together in a better known place to find it. Okay. He collaborated all everybody's information with his information. And over the past 20 years, he's been doing this. But on his blog, on irrationalmale.com frame, it says Iron Rule of Tomassi. He's got like 9 of those. It says frame is everything. Always be aware of the subconscious balance of whose frame in which you're operating. Always control the frame, but resist giving the impression that you are. So demonstrate, don't explicate. Does that make sense? Demonstrate through your actions, don't explain. The concept of frame is yet another ephemeral idea. He uses a lot of $10 words, and I get half of them. Idea that had need of a term in the very beginning of the Great Masculine Awakening that became the community. If memory serves, I think it may have been Mystery. He's talking about Mystery that did like the Mystery Method book. You know, he was one of the original PUA guys. And he kind of opened it up to where other people could bring the praxeology in of the actual science of men and women. So Rollo Tomassi's not a PUA. He's just a guy with information. If memory serves, I think it had been Mystery who first picked up on what's really a very rudimentary and well-established psychological principle. In psych terms, Frame is an often subconscious, mutually acknowledged personal narrative under which auspicious people will be influenced. One's capacity for personal decisions, choices for well-being, emotional investments, religious beliefs, and political persuasions, amongst many others, are all influenced and biased by the psychological narrative framework under which we all most apt to accept as normalcy. The concept of frame covers a lot of aspects in our daily lives, some of which we're painfully aware of, others we are not. But nevertheless, we are passively influenced by frame. So you're either in your own frame or you're in somebody else's frame. And you might be in somebody else's frame if they're a higher position than you and the people under you are in your frame. Make sense? It can be in life, it can be in relationships, it can be in jobs, it can be in friend groups. Everybody's in somebody else's frame. What concerns us in terms of intergender relations, however, is the way in which frame sets the environment, the ambience, and the reality in which we relate with both the women we sarge at a bar and the relationship with the women we lived with for 20 years. One important fact to consider is, before I launch into too much detail, is to understand that frame is not a power. The act of controlling frame may be an exercise in power for some, but let me be clear from the start of the concept of frame is whose reality is in which you choose to operate in relation to a woman. Both genders' internalized concept of frame is influenced by an individual. Hello, if no bad words, I'll get you to 1K. Cool. Understand that balance of frame often shifts. Frame is fluid and will find its own level when a deficit or a surplus of will is applied to change it. The forces which influence that lack of boost of will is irrelevant. You know that the conditions of operative framework will shift because of them. Often I'll see forum posts laminating some loss of frame. Loss of frame, how to get it back? That's where he's talking about relationships. So here's the deal. When you're in a relationship with a woman, you're either in her frame or she's in yours. Okay? The guy at the grocery store that you see and he's kind of cowered down to his wife and she's strutting around telling him this, that, and the other about grocery shopping, he's in her frame. The couple that's walking around together and they're happy and together, she's in his. That's the way that goes. So that's something to understand. And that plays into the text messaging all over again. If you're texting, she doesn't understand any of your body cues. So you have to stop doing that for her to accept your frame and position when you're communicating with her. Okay, guys? So remember that one. All right, so I'll see you guys later. Have a great time. Bye-bye.